hello, and welcome back to the A Show, the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcasts. I am Justin, here with Meelz. What's going on, Meelz?
What an unconventional week that this is. A truly a week that is unlike any other in HO history. We're recording the show on a Monday. I don't think that's ever happened before.
It has never
This
happened.
is nuts. Tuesday, yeah. Wednesday, yeah. Thursday, even for sure. But Monday, good lord. But I'm excited for this. Not
Yeah.
excited. At some point during our conversation, I will be ordering food and I will be waiting for said food to come. So just getting you heads up. I'm thinking Vietnamese. Not sure yet, but thinking that kind of avenue. So, we'll see what happens here. What is up with you?
What isn't up with me? Turbulent week. I was originally not going to be the reason that we were going to be recording on a Monday, and then I became doubly the reason that we would be recording on a Monday because
I originally wasn't going to record this week.
you were going to be off this week.
Yes,
and then I said,
absolutely.
"Oh shit, I have to go speak at another conference, and I'm going to be gone right when we record. So I actually leave tomorrow, and I won't be back till Thursday. But you're busy all week because you got a huge event too, and this is just rare that our schedules have been so fucked for the past year that we have to go on and all. But
right?
we did not want to not give you guys a show, and I think that was the most
Course.
interesting part. Obviously, we're doing this on a Monday. Raw hasn't aired yet. You know, we
No. It is literally hours away. It is. It might. Hopefully, by the time this
I'm gonna get
podcast
you out of
ends, it
here
won't
before.
start airing.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
we'll
get me out of here before Raw.
get you out of here before Raw. But
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Might not even watch it. We don't even have to cover it this week.
I'm definitely watching it. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna be part of the conversation. I'll be watching Raw tonight. But
I'm lying.
In between God of War, I'll be watching Raw. But so yeah, we're doing it today. It's unconventional.
How's God of War? How's God of War? I've heard so much about that game.
It's fantastic. It's fan-fucking-tastic. It's everything that I've been waiting for. And I think every one of my friends is playing it. Yeah, I'm mad that I have to go because again, I'm going to be hella behind for a whole day from people playing it.
Man, if you gotta treat this like the WWE superstars do, and get the whole like Kajigger to travel with, like
Kajigger
they got a whole setup. You got to get the whole setup that they carry with. I'm sure Kofi, I'm sure Ali, I'm sure all the people who are currently not unified WWE champion got got their Kajigger set up to play games when they're not being included on the show or being included
Jigger
on the show or something.
Jigger is crazy. We do have an announcement though. I can't start without an announcement. Cyrus of the War Report is gonna be taking a couple weeks off. He's fine. I talked to him a couple times over the weekend. He's gonna be taking a couple weeks off. There's gonna be some War Report is not ending or gonna take a hiatus from what it looks like. There's gonna be some guest hosts on the show with Quan. I have volunteered to do next week. So you already know there's gonna be somebody for this week and somebody for next week. And we're sending all of our best wishes to Cyrus as he recovers and
Look at you dedicating the night before Thanksgiving to watching AEW. Wow.
And not only that, I would have to do AMP radio that day, and then do. Well, actually, no. Fuck. I got to cook that night. Quan,
that's what I'm saying.
Quan, hold me. Let's talk.
This is this is what I go through all the time. Just then, this is what I go through all the time. Agreeing to something and then realizing, oh shit, more important things are taking place.
Hey, I'm Diddy, baby. Even if I just hey, there's no reason that like we can't make this work. There ain't no even if we got to do it.
Well, listen, it's the night before Thanksgiving. If Quan starts at midnight, that will be like 9 o'clock your time.
It's true.
He doesn't have work tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, he'll have to edit the show because I'll definitely be cooking. But
well, I'm sure Quan will hear this and let us know his thoughts.
Love you, Quan. Let's make something happen. I'll definitely do it next week. I'll figure something out. So yes, that is your news for that. If you know Cyrus, if you see him or you see him online or you know him personally, whatever, just send him a text and checking on him, say thinking about you, hope you're good.
Unless he hates
And
you,
yeah,
then don't do that.
yeah, because if he hates you, don't. You usually know if he doesn't like you, but I don't even know if Cyrus likes me most of the time.
I believe he does like me, but I'm sure there are moments where he doesn't. I'm sure.
I think that's for
But
everybody.
I think, yeah, there we go. I think if he's an equal opportunity, you might annoy him at some various point during your existence, multiple times.
That's why we love him. That is why we love Cyrus. What else? Is there any more announcements? I do want to do. This is an unconventional show, by the way.
Sure.
I wrote nothing. We wrote nothing. All we have is your questions, and that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Because
There is a little bit of news, though. I mean, if you want to touch on a little bit of
do
news,
news.
let's see.
I wanted to talk. All out or not all out. What the fuck is that shit called? Full Gear.
Full
Um,
Gear. I'm not talking that shit. Talk that shit next week with Quan. I wanted to talk about Stone
it's this
Cold.
weekend. It's literally this weekend. We have to. We always
What
do
is
that. We talk about it.
All right. I literally have not, outside of the YouTube clips I saw last week, I have, again, not watched AEW because I've been
Well,
watching the challenge on Monday.
we're more or less talking about I feel like with this card you don't really need to know much because not much has really happened
Sure.
since the Punk exit seemingly and the Moxley win. So we will just be talking about kind of where the company's gonna go. This is their first pay-per-view without CM Punk in a year. CM Punk was supposed to be their long-term guy, and I want to talk about it. So we're gonna talk about Full Gear a little bit, and then we're gonna go into the questions
Okay.
before we get into the news that you have. So I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna listen to you describe this news. I'm gonna eat on the chip really quick. I'm being full transparency this episode. I'm not even trying to hide it. I'm eating.
Okay. Word. So, no, I wanted to talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin is rumored. The hullabaloo is that he's been offered another match next year at WrestleMania in Los Angeles, WrestleMania Hollywood. That means the event that we saw last year was not once in a lifetime. In fact, it is twice in a lifetime. Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 2023. Who does he face? Who?
Um, he turns 58 next month.
That's okay.
He turns 58 years old. The thing about the Mania match
Sure.
was in the building and on TV, it did not look like he had missed many steps to me. Obviously, he's not running the ropes as nimble, but he was still bumping. He was still doing the same punches. The intensity was there. In fact, I thought it was the best he had looked in a long. I thought he looked better there, like
Don't
in
say
terms of
best
just
in a
like.
long time because it's been a long time since we've
You know,
seen him.
I was correcting myself. I was like better than what he looked like when we last saw him. I would say that he was
Okay.
very sluggish that last Rock match, and rewatching that, I was like, damn, like I thought about like the Shawn Michaels Austin match from WrestleMania when I was like, I was just like, why? I was watching a review of it for Wrestling Bios, and I was like, damn, I remember as a kid, I had no clue that he was hurt. I had no clue he was that hurt. Even I was just like, why is he like working like this? I was like, does he not like Austin? I was like, the first time I was clued in on like something's not right,
Sure.
But Austin, the same thing. It was like something's not quite right here. But in terms of like who he should face, I mean, you got to go with somebody that could also protect him in the same way. I don't think you're getting an AJ Styles match out of this guy. You're not getting a, big time. You're not getting a Roman match out of Austin. That's just not that's not what they should be doing right now. You got to go with somebody that's also an equally big star and that was the biggest star of his period as well. You got to go with Cena. He's already done Rock. You got to go with John Cena.
See, that's a good one. That's a good one. Even though I'm also like, it's a big spectacle match, and I think John Cena could absolutely sell the match. I don't know. So I've heard that. I've heard Austin versus Punk. Um, I'm in the clear minority of Austin Rock 4 for whatever reason. Um, I like, well, you know, it would be great, honestly. If Triple H could still work, that would be a great. Like, they've never went one on one at WrestleMania. It just has
Yeah,
never happened. And this
injuries and
would
stuff
be,
stopped that from happening.
yeah, so much stuff had stopped it from happening. Like, that was the one on one, and then also them booking it for WrestleMania, the pay per view before WrestleMania 17 instead of WrestleMania 17. Which, you know what, fair. The Rock versus Austin, bigger
Bigger match.
marquee match. Um, but man, I can't see anyone on this current roster. It would have to be a Cena, it would have to be a Rock, it would have to be a Roman that go. Would you care to see if Roman went against Stone Cold Steve Austin? I think
No,
that's the biggest. I think. Listen, come on now. We've seen Roman do magic with people who can't wrestle. You
who's that?
telling me that Stone?
Who
I'm
couldn't
sorry,
wrestle?
sorry. People. I'm sorry. People who are not like
Older, older.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Um,
Because you would like, I felt like you were sending shots at Goldberg or Logan Paul, and I was like, I'm not having any of
no,
it.
I was saying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. First of all, if I send shots at Logan Paul, you better accept that. But I'm not sending shots at Logan Paul. But
Why should I accept that?
because it's me versus you like Logan Paul better than me.
All right, you're right. That's true.
Um, but no, I think he's done magic, and I think he's on this tear, and I think quite honestly, like Stone Cold Steve Austin WWE Championship, can he do it again? Roman Reigns, will he do it again? I'm not sure how you book that match. If this is no 2001 Austin booking where he's coming up, where his music is still playing at the end anyway, or it might, who knows? But
Well,
but
Here's my thing with
okay,
that. People have already theory crafted Roman versus Rock in their heads, and there's nothing that they're not thinking about. And I just think the story angle of that is, yes, again, the same with with Cena. There's a certain
hmm
level of story and theatrics that I feel like Roman does really well, and I don't know if that matches well with where Austin is physically right now. You know,
okay,
there's a lot that he'd have to do, and there was a lot that I would have to overcome watching him get up from three spears and shit like that.
amen,
Like you notice he
amen.
only hit
First of all,
Logan with one. You notice he only hit Logan with one, and I thought that
of
was really
course,
good story. That was really good storytelling to show that that's going to put him away. Nothing else could put him away, but that will, because that's just where it was. With Austin, his 58-year-old ass is not getting up from a spear, but we want to see it because we want to believe in that. With
well,
Cena, he's still young enough that we
okay,
could get that over. You know what I'm saying? Like that we could still have the theatrics, but still have Austin kind of kick out of some of his stuff because he's old too. You know what I
hmm
mean? But the story with these two
oldish,
is with old. Yeah, he's oldish. Yeah, he's oldish. But I think the story with those two is that I ran it for however long, and Cena said, "Well, I ran it for however long, and we never faced each other. Let's see who really was the." Well, I think you battle of the generations, battle of the box office. You know what I mean? Like who had it most? Because yeah, Rock made money. He didn't make more money than Austin. Yeah, Rock made money. Let's just be clear. Let's be honest. He didn't make more money than Cena. Those are the two box office draws to the
hmm
company. And I think that's where you got to go. I mean, Cena already had the Roman match, and that's where that went. But it's also a match where you don't know who's going to win. It could be either of them winning, and this could
to be
realistically be
honest,
Austin's.
yes,
It could be Austin's final match ever. But it will also be, to me, a good, not a good send off for Cena, because I still don't think that would be his last match. But it would be another, like another bow on his hat. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yo, he beat Austin, and he never got a chance to face him. It makes too much sense to me for it to be Cena in Austin. But if it was Roman, I wouldn't complain. I would just be like, damn, I guess Rock is pussy. Like I would be like, yeah, I guess he really isn't coming. I guess he really is pussy, bro.
listen, man. If there's anyone who I believe could put butts in seats for getting people in the building and getting people hyped, listen. we remember the day after Kevin Owens challenged Stone Cold Steve Austin to that promo. Do you remember the drone flying in the desert,
Yes.
riding up to the back of a pickup truck, and Stone Cold Steve Austin cutting one solid, amazing promo? The first promo we've heard from him in, well, the first promo that he has promoting a match in years. And the goosebumps you felt, all
Mhm.
you need is that magic. Like, I think Roman, don't get me wrong, Roman versus Rock, Austin versus Cena, that's two big
Mhm.
box office thing. That's like day one, day two. You know what I'm
But
saying? That's like,
I wanna get back to something else you said, and I don't
okay.
I don't want you to be the minority because as much as I like Austin Cena, I do like Austin Punk too. And if you're gonna bring Punk back, Meelz, and you're gonna make
Mm,
that happen,
mm,
I would make Punk the real kind of attraction that he should have been in AEW, where he does this match, he goes shows up on Raw, maybe gets taken out by somebody, and then we don't see him till SummerSlam, and then he has that match with that person, and then we don't see him again
I
until
feel,
Survivor Series.
I feel like, I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm just saying, I feel like personally, and if there's anyone that could sell the match itself, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. That man can sell anything.
Mhm.
Um, but the Punk currently, as it's an idea in my mind, I look at Punk in Austin. I'm like, that would have been cool like 10 years ago. Like,
You gotta build Punk
oh,
up.
when you,
You definitely.
yeah,
Well, do you though? Well, you know what? You're right because I say this right now, and I really truly believe it because I mean, look at how AEW's dancing on this nigga right now. Like his stock is at its lowest. His stock has never been lower than being kicked out basically unceremoniously from two major wrestling companies and coming back to one. They definitely would need to make him look good coming
I
back
mean,
into this.
WWE will shine him up. WWE will shine him up. They have a lot of more tricks up their bag than just like sending you out there and winning a bunch of matches. They'll do all types of collaborations. They'll do all types
Because
of things.
they are dancing on this nigga right now on AEW. They don't give a fuck about this nigga no more.
And I fully believe WWE realizes that and like, oh, okay, listen, if we need to make you hot again, we'll make you hot. That's just what we do. That's what we're in the business of. We're in the business of making people hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think they could absolutely do that. Um, but that's the only bit of news I cared to talk about this week. There isn't anything like grand or anything. I think nothing's bigger than Stone Cold to me. Seeing Stone Cold live in any year is like, all right, that's bucket list
It's a
things
spectacle.
because
Yeah.
he's incredible. He's incredible. Um,
The room. I wanna call the pops for Mania, okay? Stone Cold, top three. I'm not gonna put them in order. I don't remember. But top three, Stone Cold, Glass Shatter on night one. Night two was still good. Glass Shatter on night one, God level. Okay. Like they were ready for this nigga. Second big pop, gotta say it. Cody.
of
Room
course.
shook. Room fucking shook. Third one, Bianca winning the title.
Mm, okay.
Bianca winning the title was, to say the least, what was a moment. I swear to you, I've never seen so many people in a room for the. She was probably the most popular babyface on the show, and that's up there with Brock. All of them.
I love it. I love it. That's what we're here for, right? Like this is
Yeah,
what we do. Um, you want to talk about Full Gear?
let's talk about Full Gear. It's airing this
Okay.
Saturday, week before Survivor Series. I gotta say that like the talk is very muted for this. I'm not trying to point it any direction. I'm not trying to do promotion wars. The talk's real muted for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's several reasons why. I
I
don't
mean,
think the
you can look at
TV's
the
been.
card and see why.
Yeah, I don't think the TV's been. And the thing is, Meelz, this is a car. Okay, without Kenny and them, fine. But I think even with Kenny and them, this just looks like a AEW 2019 card, 2020 card. You know,
I don't even think so. To me, like you have like 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year. You have less than twice the amount, maybe twice the amount of WWE has. And I feel like by the time you hit these pay-per-views, there should be a direction for the biggest people featured on this card. And then
Right.
of course you want to feature other people for sure. But to me, I look at this card and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Because to be honest with you, I haven't been keeping up. Um, but I look at it and say, what the hell is going on here? Um, I would say the match that should be the most important on this card. I mean, there's the World Championship match, which is obviously the most important. But to me, the match that should be the most important on this card, that to me has not really stuck out yet because I think they fumbled the bag in terms of how they release this information, is Britt Baker versus Soraya.
Yeah. Right.
It is Soraya's return match. It is her first match back. This is her getting back in the ring. This is essentially AEW's opportunity to say, like, we have two major women stars colliding, going head to head, Icon versus Icon in wrestling.
Wait,
And I feel like they
wait. Who's the first
um
icon?
okay. You know, like
Like,
icons like Akon, but
Akon versus Icon is a little bit better.
Akon versus Icon is nuts.
Jesus Christ, almost choked. I was like, wait, what?
This is why it's your own fault for eating during the damn
I was
podcast.
drinking
But no,
water.
well, listen, take it easy. Um, but no, I feel like the way they brought back Soraya, I feel like my opinion is, um, in terms of the reveal of her being able to work, it really should have either been done the second week that she was back, or they should have delayed the entire thing and brought it a little bit closer. Like, I feel like us having to go through 3 weeks of Soraya pretty much like essentially doing nothing and people wondering, like, is she gonna work? And then she does something physical. That's how you know these people aren't in the business of professional wrestling. She did something physical weeks ago, and that should have been the reveal of when we got the moment of, like, okay,
It's
she
the
can
Daniel,
return back to the ring.
it's the Daniel Bryan moment when he got hit with the haluva
Yeah.
kick.
And yeah, and the pop up power bomb on the apron is like, okay, he's ready to go now. Like, he makes the moment. He says, "Listen, I can go in the ring. I can do this. The doctors have cleared me, etc., etc. I'm ready to take care of AEW." And then Britt Baker comes out. Then Britt Baker says, "This is my division. You ain't gonna take it from me." Like, and then they have the promo essentially that they had this week, but they have it like 5 weeks ago.
Well, I think the other
Them
reason,
they go ahead.
I think the other reason is a lot less important than it should be is that you got 9. You're possibly be looking at 11 matches on this card. There's only 9 announced right now. You still got a go home show to do and Rampage, which they announced fucking matches on that too. But it's like match number like 6 of 11. You know what I mean? Like there's no levity because you're gonna see so much wild shit on that show before you even get to the Soraya match. There to the point where it's like, damn, like whatever. Like people won't care. Not to mention that they don't care about the women in AEW in general. I'm just talking about the fans, not saying like
Yep.
anything else. But yeah, like they don't really care anyway. So like the moment that you get them to care is that you take away a bunch of the gaga and the bullshit around them and make that a big deal. That should be like the number 2 biggest match on the show, and it doesn't really feel that way, you know.
And well, what I will say is they finally at least put more than one women's match on this card because there are 3. I mean, I think they've done 2 before for sure, but there are 3 women's matches on this card, which is great for the women just in general.
Two, two
Now,
and a fucking half. Let's be clear. Like that Tony Storm match is heatless. Like Tony is the
that two and a
champion.
half, that two and a half you said could have been extremely problematic. And I'm glad you said the Tony Storm match.
Oh God, no. I'm talking
I
about Tony
was
Storm. I'm talking about Tony Storm. I wouldn't
right.
even think about it, but because it's a heatless match. Like Tony gets the title match and she's got the title, but Britt gets the bigger match. Tony shouldn't be doing Jamie Hayter, really? Paige should or Saraya should show up and face the champion, not the person who's not the champion. But of course, you gave it to Tony Storm. And that must have been why Britt kept losing the title matches because I was like, oh, this is what they were setting up for. We should have known that she was going to get something bigger
They
than this.
they didn't want this to happen because Tony Storm is still interim women's champion. And they're waiting for what's her face to come back.
What else we have on this card? Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Sting and Darby Allin. What happened to Darby Allin, man? What happened? Facing old
He's
niggas.
with Sting. He's with Sting. Sting been holding him back. It's time you put that man in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? It
Then you're
may
gonna
be
get the
time
Sting
to split him
Darby.
up.
Then you're gonna get the Sting Darby Allin shit. Just like, do we want to see that either?
Just no, not really.
It's kind of the same as the Christian Jungle Boy shit. Old nigga versus young nigga.
And the old nigga got hurt. And now
Old
it's
nigga. I
young
mean,
nigga versus.
you got Luchasaurus
But
versus Jack Perry. I guess they're not calling him Jungle Boy anymore. Steel cage match. Don't care. I don't think anyone does.
nah, not really. I don't know. I don't really watch it as much as we'll see. A fatal
Big
four
card.
way for the ROH World Championship. To me, this is the most like, what the fuck is this?
But why? Fucking why? The ROH stuff is tanking the weekly show from what I see, and then you're giving us more of it. I don't get it. Jericho asked for Sammy Guevara to be there, I guess for swerve purposes. I'm sure they won't hit each other at all during the match, which is weird. Why don't you just make it a tag match? Like,
I don't know.
and then Brian and Claudio are in the same stable too.
Yeah, but I think they're having like problems. The last thing I saw before the challenge debuted was Brian and Claudio are having issues.
They're
Or
having
Brian
issues.
is rather having issues. Brian is soft. He's soft turning to a heel, is what essentially is going on.
So they basically made him lose mad matches, right? Turn him face again, and then they're gonna turn him heel again in a year. So his whole thing is face, heel, face in 1 year. Is he the new Big Show?
Might be. I mean, the only
Like,
thing missing on this card is Big Show.
why can't they make Daniel Bryan a believable face? Hangman Page nowhere to be found on this. Of course, he's injured right now. Wishing the best for him. You had the Eliminator tournament final. Don't know who these two are going to be. Haven't been looking at those either. Claimed.
Damn. To be honest with you, it's no one you're gonna want to see.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, no one you're gonna want to see. Trust me.
Acclaimed and Swerve in Our Glory the third time. I'm like, for a promotion that says they don't do the rematches like they were touting. Like we're not WWE. We don't do rematches like that. This is the third time we've seen this team fight in 2 months.
Hey, man. I mean, they got something with this one. This has been a long from pay per view to pay per view, and they've managed to keep people invested only because people like the Acclaimed more. Yeah, it's not a. I would say that's a bright spot
It needs a
for this
stip.
thing.
For the third time for them to do this, it needs a stipulation. I mean, their niggas is getting kidnapped. This is a blood
That's
feud at
true.
this point. This
This
is a
is true.
regular ass match. Then you have
Give us back Billy Gunn if we win.
yeah. Oh, that's a hey. You should book the show.
Hey, man.
John Moxley versus MJF, and I mean again, the dissonance between pay per views is that he won this off of someone that they don't even talk about anymore. You know what I mean? Like he won this title off someone they don't talk about anymore. MJF comes out. They've been doing this kind of face turn thing. They've turned completely. What is it? Stokes' team, the firm, heel, bunch of geeks, and MJF and Moxley are two faces again, two baby faces facing off for the title. They just did this a pay per view ago.
They can't. Yeah, they can't have just a heel versus a face.
They,
I don't know
they
why they
can't.
always do this.
They always have two baby faces, and I think for the past since the summertime, it has been two baby faces facing off for the title since Punk and Page. It's always been two baby faces facing off for the title of the pay per view. Why do they
Yeah.
continue to do this? And here's my thing: you do this whole swerve with MJF. It's all signs are pointing to the fact that he's gonna swerve everything, which is gonna be Russo level stupid if they do that. But I honestly don't feel like it's time for him to win the title yet. I don't think it's time.
I don't think so either. I can't see him being a much of a pillar right now as Moxley is. Like, they need Moxley as champion, even though he's like not. It is what it is. But I think you need Moxley as a believable champion.
Mm-hmm.
MJF doesn't even fight. Like, he barely has matches. So it'll be interesting if they actually do put the belt on him.
Weird show.
Yeah, Full Gear. Full Gear. Yeah. Tune in.
Is
Kinda.
is this the what can I say, the least like hyped AEW pay per view ever?
I don't know, because that last pay-per-view was kind of ass.
Well, I mean, all
The
all signs point to this being. Let's just look at it. All signs point to this being like not great either. Like you got Jade versus Nyla. I mean, let's be real. Uh Saraya, we don't even know what that's gonna look like. MJF Moxley is probably gonna be the best match on the show. A 4-way clusterfuck, whatever. I mean, it just looks like Meelz. You can look at this card and be like, I could have watched this on Dynamite or Rampage one day against all
I'm
these
sure
people.
you could. Yeah. No, for sure.
Other than the Brit match, the Acclaim match, and the main event, a lot of these are Dynamite main events, or a majority of them are Dynamite main events. Jade is exclusive to Rampage. That's her brand. Good luck
Full Gear,
to
ladies
Quan.
and gentlemen.
Good luck to
Yeah, good
Quan.
luck. Good luck.
Want to get into the questions?
Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll pick them. We'll pick them randomly. How about this? I'm gonna shout out a number. Well, actually, you pick a number, and I'll read the question. A number.
Did I mute you? No, you muted you. Anyway,
Muted me? Oops, did I mute?
no, you did. It was an accident. My bad. 31.
Oh. No, I said between 1 and 29.
God damn it.
People gonna
16.
think you're an idiot. People are gonna think you're an idiot. Okay. I'll give you a heads up. Most of these are still wrestling questions, even though we ask people. Listen, came with his. People love what they come for. What's worse, Steven Regal's "Real Man's Man" or Rob Conway's "Just Look at Me" theme? And by worse, I mean more fire.
Who's thinking about
This
this?
is this is from Daddy Mac Daddy.
Okay, what's up, Daddy Mac Daddy? Not a big fan of you in AEW.
I mean, what's more fire? It's got me weak.
Look at me because of the theme.
Just Look at Me was a moment.
Hold on.
It carried that man for the 3 months that he was here. Like,
Hold on. Let me find it. Here we go. Look at this fucking beard. Porn stash.
Just look at me. Yeah. Oh, just look at me. Ain't I a sight to see? The whole damn world wants to look like me.
That last line is some Aryan bullshit. But the song sounded like the beginning of a sitcom or like a montage sequence.
which white man was trying to cosplay fucking a
As
jazz singer?
Bumpy Gums Nelson.
That's all I could think of. I'm picturing someone backstage.
What was one of the Simpsons? Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Bleeding Gums Murphy. There you go. There you go.
Oh man, no, I mean, theme alone in Porn Stash was it for me, for Rob Conway. That was it.
That's absolutely. Pick another number between 1 and 29.
It's like the Rumble, except minus like one person. 9.
9. All right. So I'll read the question. Will Adam Cole jump to WWE eventually?
I mean, no time soon.
Yeah.
No time soon. I think the Adam Cole thing is odd because like he does seem to be very loyal to where he's at. He does have all of his friends there, regardless of how many people leave or come. He's still got a lot of people there that are his pals. I think that with the exit of CM Punk, it makes it a lot easier for him to move up. So like I think he's gonna give it the college try, and in 2027, god damn, he'll probably reevaluate.
2027, man.
I
Shit
know
might not even be AEW anymore.
he'll have to he'll have to reevaluate where he is. You know what I mean? Like I think he's solid where he's at, and I honestly feel like with him not being there, there will be someone that steps into that spot, and I just don't think it'll be the same. Like they were passing around a video today. It's so ironic. This question comes up. It was the video from him in the ladder match, and he was never hotter than that moment. I don't think that when he got to AEW, he was hotter. I don't think that when he was in, PWG, he was ever hotter. That was his moment. That 4 or 5 years he was there was his hottest moment. So it's like, even if he does come back, Meelz, like I just don't think it'll be the same. It won't hit the same because there's so many people that are like him, size wise, that are like him. Maybe promo ability, maybe electricity, maybe intensity that are like him, that are going to be like him on that roster.
I think he never jumps.
I don't think so
2027 is a
either.
long ass time, nigga. 2027 is a long time from now. Everybody gonna be in making dough. WWE might not even be making bread like that anymore in 2027. Like you don't know what could happen. So we'll see. Another number.
13.
Okay. In a booking world, who are your champions for each current WWE title? In a dream
God
booking
damn.
world.
God damn.
We splitting up the WWE and Universal again. I know we doing that for sure.
Yeah, we are for sure doing that.
I know we doing that for sure. So I think my WWE champion, if we're putting it back on, WWE champion was on Raw. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on Cody. US championship, I'm giving it back to Bobby. Raw tag team, we could just split those back up again too. Raw tag team champions. Given who's on Raw, I might give it to. Let's give it to Street Profits. I mean,
Well,
they've been
we could
touring.
also let's just make our own rules here. Let's just book people however we want to book them on whatever show.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what we should do.
So you just don't even give a. All right, go ahead. Do you?
No, I mean, go ahead, keep going. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to do Street Profits because they're there right now. You know what I mean? I think it'd be more fun if we could. I feel like if we could, it would be fun if we could cherry pick.
I'm not. I don't have the roster right in front of me. That's why I'm just thinking this off my head. Women's champion, I would pick. Bianca's pretty good, so I'll keep Bianca. It's Bianca.
Keep Bianca.
Women's tag team champions, honestly, could be anyone. You know what I'm doing? Putting it back on Rhea and Liv. How about that? That was awesome. Let's do that again. Universal Championship. I'll keep it on Roman. Roman's doing all right. Plus, he'll never even my dream booking couldn't get the title off of him. Intercontinental Championship. I think I might go Shinsuke. I like Shinsuke. SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I'll do. Damn, there's a lot of tag teams on SmackDown. Usos. Why not? Usos killing it. And then SmackDown Women's Champion, I would do. Shit.
Gonna go Shayna or Ronda?
Charlotte. Fuck it.
That's crazy.
I love Charlotte. I love Charlotte. Go ahead.
I hear that.
Do you?
WWE champion Cody. I think he has. I mean, it's a shoe-in. It's the one that his dad wanted. Don't shift him and give him no damn universal shit. His dad ain't want that one. Give him the big belt. U.S. champion, U.S. champion Johnny Gargano. Big U.S. champion. I think the Raw Tag Team Championship should let's move that over to the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, or they could do like a New Day situation where they're free it, and and I want them to have it for a while. I think that'd be a cool thing, and Finn will be feuding with Johnny Gargano for the U.S. title, so that jumps back and forth between those two. Raw Women's Champion. I think that if we're thinking about going into WrestleMania, thinking about doing a lot of things with these people, Rhea Ripley should do it. I think Judgment Day should have some gold on that show. They're holding it down. Rhea should have the championship going into WrestleMania. It should be Rhea versus Bianca. Bianca's chasing right now. Was that it for Raw? I think that's it for Raw.
Women's tag team.
Oh, women's tag team champion. Let's put it on. Let's put it on. Who could it be? I mean, I would love a babyface team, a strong babyface team to have it. I would love if they reunited Shotzi and what's it? What Bad Knee? What's the girl with the knees? Bad knees.
Tegan.
Nixon. Yeah, Nixon. Reunite them.
Nixon Noel. She fake not even there yet.
You said it's our booking dream, right? That's what the question was. In our booking dream, what would it be? I think those are two strong women's title contenders who could easily flip heel after a bad night one day or something. SmackDown title, Drew McIntyre. Universal, Drew McIntyre. His current feuds are Roman Reigns, babyface, and Gunther. And that's the big match. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre.
Ooh, okay.
Intercontinental title. Intercontinental's interesting. There's a lot of ways you could go with that too. I would give that to Santos Intercontinental. Let him have it.
I like that.
And he wins it off a fatal 4-way. Gunther isn't pinned, but Santos wins it. Gunther says, "Fuck it, I'm going for the world title. It's fine." Boom, there you go. SmackDown titles, Viking Raiders. They were owed these titles. These titles.
Can we talk about Homegirl? Show him back up.
She need to hit the gym, man. She looked real flabby out there, bro.
I know she had a kid, but the look was very. I'm not saying anything about like her body look. I'm saying just in general, it was very. Put some pants on, put some shoes on. It's like half of a black face. You're lucky I'm not that offended, but like I was just like, I don't know about this girl, but
that's what they used to. That's what they used to be like in the Viking days, I guess. It was a little.
Hey man, this is why we ain't in the Viking days no more.
You wanted to be like the old days, but it ain't the old days no more.
It ain't the old days no more.
Listen, man. I think the Vikings need that, man. I think that.
Okay.
Women. Oh man, this is a good one.
SmackDown women's. There's a lot of women on SmackDown.
SmackDown women. I would call up Alba Fire and put it on her and have Alba versus Charlotte at Mania. And Charlotte will probably win.
Look at you booking. They should give you a company in Jacksonville. How about that?
Oh, hey, hell no, absolutely not. Bonus NXT. NXT champion. Damn, that's actually a good one too. NXT champion. Who do I want? Ilya Dragunov. NXT champion. North American champion. I think we're good with Wesley. Give him a long run. Tag team champion Schism for show. And women's champion Roxanne Perez.
I like that. I'm not gonna do NXT, but I like that. I like that. Pick another number.
What have I picked already? 11.
11. Okay. If you could Flip the result of only one match in WrestleMania history. What would it
Oh
be?
God. I'd have Roman go over.
One
I'm not changing. I'm not changing Booker T
Roman
Triple
go
H.
over where? No, of
Brock.
course not.
I'm not
Roman go
changing.
over
Listen,
Brock.
yeah. If and this is the time he was bleeding. Was that the time Seth came out, or was that the other time? The time he was bleeding, he should have went over.
30. That was like
34?
33, right? Or 34.
Yeah, it's one of those. That one he should have went over. I'm not changing Booker T Rock, man, or Booker T Triple H. I'm sorry. It didn't. At the end of the day, it did not change much. Like that didn't change much about history. They still would have did what they wanted to do.
So this is very if there's one that I could change, it would be shit. This is a very tough question, Mr. Novaxer. I would have 20, 21, 22. I'm
Would you
literally
have
counting
Sasha?
in my
Would you have Sasha win that 4-way that first year? They did the they did Mania.
I would, but I don't want to waste my thing on that. And I think you muted yourself, but um I wouldn't waste my thing on that. If I had to do one match over, I don't know. That's a good ass question. Fuck.
There are only 38 Manias.
Good Lord. I would have I would
I got another one. I would
okay, go
have
ahead.
had Brock go over Goldberg.
He didn't?
No,
I think
did
he
he
did at
lose?
WrestleMania. Nah, he
WrestleMania?
totally won.
Did he?
He beat him for the Universal Championship.
Oh,
After
fool! The
Goldberg
first
beat
time.
Kevin Owens.
The first time.
That was a Survivor Series. Oh, you mean
No, fool!
2004.
2004. Yeah,
See,
I would have had.
you gotta be, my brain is thinking, okay, that's a good one. Gosh, I can't pick one. I'm sorry. I don't know. J5 gave you just two good ones. I wouldn't
Wait, Meelz,
know.
pick one, Meelz. What the hell?
Damn.
Is it that you don't feel any type of way about any of the results thus far?
I don't give a fuck. Not that I don't feel any type of way. It's just like, they come and they go. Bitches, they come, they go. Saturday through Sunday,
I mean, I
Monday.
guess if I was thinking in your head, if I was in your head, like Charlotte probably not going over Asuka, I think.
See, that was what I was thinking too. I was thinking that. So you know what? I'm gonna go with that. That was in my brain, but I felt like I could have picked a much more monumental one. But no, apparently I can't. So I'm gonna go Asuka beat Charlotte and continues the streak. But
That would have
then
been
Carmella
real hard.
Carmella cashes in on Asuka, and we still
Yeah.
get the shithole that we got.
Yeah, there would have been no outcome that would have been good for that because it would have still been Asuka nerfing everybody in the division, and it would have been Carmella beating her and Asuka not getting her comeuppance after like 3 times trying to get the title.
Hey man. Oh well. Pick another number.
1.
Okay. This one says, do you guys feel wrestling will ever hit the mainstream peak that the Attitude Era Monday Night Wars had in the late 90s? And what is preventing the industry from getting... Hold on. What is preventing the industry from getting there? I don't think it will ever hit that mainstream peak because I think culture just in general is different.
What is that peak though? What is that peak though? I think we're looking at
when
it
I'm
wrong.
saying... Go ahead.
I think we're looking at it wrong.
Sure.
You look at what happened in the 90s. That was a lot of first time. That was a lot of first times. It was a lot of first time they had action figures. First time they were in a movie. First time they were in a... These are normal accepted things now. wrestling is absolutely mainstream. You look at the numbers, you look at the social media numbers, you look at all of that. I think it's a combination of multiple things why people don't think that it is mainstream right now. One of them being it's not getting 10 million viewers a week. Nothing is unless you're the NFL. Let's just be clear. Not even award shows, NBA, nothing is getting those numbers. Soccer, nothing is getting those numbers, and nothing ever will. And I think the moment was that
No. I was gonna say that's what I was saying.
they're like nothing is ever gonna get there. I think in terms of mainstream integration, you see which some things you never used to see. Remember used to see Stacker 2 commercials because that was the only type of brand that would connect themselves to wrestling. And now you see Sonic and Pizza Hut and Nationwide Insurance and stuff like that. That's mainstream that's a mainstream intersection. I think wrestling absolutely still is a big deal. I mean, even AEW is getting crazy amounts of sponsors. I mean, a lot of their pay-per-views aren't necessarily sponsored the way that WWE ones are, and that's mostly just kind of put their name and logo on the actual poster. But I mean, I think we're looking at it from a different point of view. Like wrestling, they give them belts, whenever anyone wins a title and they post it. I mean, the way people look at how you're integrated into the mainstream is differently. We have to look at it differently now. You have so many avenues to reach people. Back then, you only had linear TV to reach people. And I think that was a large part of it. It's like we're not really thinking global here. And this is a global company in a way that they just weren't back in the 90s. So, like, I don't think there's anything stopping them from being bigger because they're attempting to be bigger. You know what I mean? And you look at what they did in Saudi 2 weeks ago. Look at what they did at Clash at the Castle. The amount of money they made there is crazy. I absolutely think wrestling is at that peak. It's just that people are looking at it from a different way.
I think culture is just different in the way we absorb stuff is just different now than it was before. And yeah, like you said, viewership is not as big as it was once before, but that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of value within WWE. Do I think it'll ever hit that mainstream peak? Like, it's tough to say because, like Justin said, there were a lot of first times of things. It was the first time like we wrestling had kind of like gone to like I remember playgrounds and people doing cross chops and all this other stuff. Like it was part of really the fabric of America. Do I think it'll get there? No, not really, because I think there's so much stuff now that is embedded into the American fabric and kind of like just the world fabric in general from stuff that we absorb. Reality TV popped off. There's a lot of the other types of shows, just other types, social media, all these other things now. So I don't think it'll be as big of a big deal, but I still think it's definitely a big deal now. Pick another number.
5.
I was just on this. If you were opening a modern version of WWF New York, what memorabilia would you have on display? One, I would not open a modern version of WWF New York, but just feels like a waste of money.
My version would be like Poppy, the club in LA. It'd be a club.
Ooh, okay, I could see that. I think I would go, WWF New York.
Brian's eco-friendly belt would be one of them. Kofi Mania, Kofi's tights from WrestleMania would be one of them.
Stone Cold Steve Austin belt that got thrown in the river. Edge's spinner belt, just various different things. There will be a lot of memorabilia, just random. The hand that came out of Mae Young, I don't know, one of those stuff, like stuff that people remember.
There's some cool like Undertaker's CAT scan after he got a concussion in Mania when Brock beat him.
Damn, die lit.
You pick a number now.
I can't because I've seen all of these. I'll hit the random generator. Hold on. Random generator.
I'm running out. I feel like I'm gonna say something I already said.
You hit like fucking. You've only done like 6. 1 through
No, 14,
29.
14, 14.
Good. 14. How did Meelz and J5 originally link up? Well, it's our
We've never
origin story,
linked up.
sir.
We've never linked up.
Never. So
we've never linked up. Oh, I mean,
just
for those who have heard the story before, I mean, I guess you can fast forward about 2 minutes, but me and Meelz, we were in Russell Rap in a group chat. I come from kind of being put in there by like Kaz and Emilio. I guess Meelz, you found your own way there into the chat.
this girl who Ernest Estime put out a thing like wrestling fans tap in, and then this girl like added me in it because I've been tweeting about wrestling, and then Ernest Estime put me in, and that's how I ended up in Wrestle Rap. True story.
I didn't know that. I did not know that part.
Listen, you learn something new every day.
Yeah. So we had met through there. Obviously I was a firebrand in that chat. I was a lot younger than I am now. I would probably not act or do the things that I said in that chat. But and I was editing Meelz' pieces for the website, and he was the only person that was actually, I mean, much like what he does now, he put his everything into his pieces at Russell. I'm kind of sad that we lost all of them, but I was like, I kind of took him and was just like, yo, let's just rock out together. And from that point on, I put him in RNC chat or like the prototype version of what RNC chat was. It was really early. Not many people were there. I think Ty was there, maybe still. And a
Don't
couple people
answer
that,
that part because there's
huh?
another question coming up. I said don't answer. Don't you can
Oh,
cut off
okay.
right there. There's another question
All
coming up.
right.
So don't
Well,
worry. You'll
go
be
ahead
able
and
to
ask
say all
that.
that stuff.
Go ahead and ask that then.
All right. Let's go. This is funny. Okay. Where's that question? I'll just control F search. Okay. Question number 18. What was your first impression of everyone involved in RNC Radio?
That's a better question for Meelz because I think I put through everyone in there. I want me to look.
I'm pretty sure you did. I would say okay. So let me do let me see what I can do. Okay.
Because the
Mark,
thing is, current RNC chat is like way truncated from what it used to be. Like it used to be way bigger than now. It's like a solid like 14 people. It's not many people at all.
I would say Mark, I could tell he was from message boards in the way that he talked.
Yes, he still talks like that too. He typed out
Um
Nas with a G the other day. We were talking
yeah,
about
yeah, 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 yeah.
we were
GNOZ.
yeah, I was just like, Jesus Christ, Mark, leave it alone, leave it in the past. I'm like, Mark, we're
No, don't shame
adults.
him. I don't want him to change. A
I'm gonna give him
plus.
shit anyway. I always give him shit.
A plus. I still think is hilarious. Like I would just how he's able to put like real life situations and kind of like mimic those situations with same cadence, same way to talk, same way to type, like all this other stuff. I found him hilarious just off rip.
You should have seen him and Mark in the same place at Mania doing the Stone Cold voice. One for the ages.
Brian, I thought was very much so like like he reminded me of like scenester fashion guy, fashion sneakers, blah blah blah. Like that's what he reminded me. Um, Cyrus, I thought he was incredibly aggy the first time I met him. Like I was like, what? He is no. I think he can just like show up anywhere, and he doesn't really change who he is to appeal to different people. He just kind of says what's on his mind.
Completely
Um,
always angry. That is his own. Cyrus being in a mode, and I love Cyrus to death. I'm just saying it like 'cause I'm thinking about him a lot right now. But like he will literally like his only mode is anger most of the time, and just general
yeah.
annoyance at everything. I'm like, damn nigga, like I know I hate everything, but you really hate everything. Like you hate every goddamn thing, bro. Like I gotta call out love and joy from him sometimes.
Sometimes you got to drag it out of him. I hear Quan try to do it every week.
Yeah.
Drew's cool. I don't have. I wish I don't speak to him enough. When I found out he liked some stuff in the anime, I was very surprised.
Drew's a nerd. He's a big dork. Love Drew.
Yeah. LJ Jamal, I met.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, just very young and consumed with like violence.
Very angry.
I was just he's not angry. He just really likes. He finds violence cool. We talk about it on the Lookout this week, and he says that's not his brand anymore. And I said, okay. Ty was hilarious because I only knew Ty off the memes that you would show because you have a folder with Ty's pictures of him doing random things with like cards and other paraphernalia, guns. Yes, sure, okay, and all this other shit. Josh P's Casey Veggie song, something. Josh P's made me some. It's a Casey Veggie songs. I think it's called Life.
Okay.
So I'd known of Josh P's for like 10 years, but never actually knew. I was like, oh, when he came in the chat, I was like, oh, that's the Josh P's from the Casey Veggie song. Literally. Justin, my first impression was, what is this guy doing here? Because he was at the cookout. No. The other Justin in our group. So I was like, what is he doing here? Because he was at the cookout, and I was like, who the fuck did y'all invite to the cookout randomly? And he was like, oh, that's our pal Justin. And then he became an he became an RNC, and I was like, okay, all right, cool.
He was in your sleep. Yeah, he ate all your food that weekend.
Listen, and good for him. Cam, I thought he was super. He's the genesis of TYN, super young, super like. I think now he's matured a little bit. I don't want to say a little bit. I think he's matured for sure.
Where?
I think he's matured. Nah, he's definitely matured. Like if you, from the first moment that I saw him, it was a lot like you couldn't even get him to be like, he was like, why would I ever? Sorry, I don't want to put your shit on Front Street Cam, but like you were way younger than this. But like, we don't like date, women or like fuck these hoes and all these other stuff like that. And now he's in a relationship and he's happy and he seems to be moving in a very great direction with his career. And I'm happy for him, is what I'll say. I do think he's matured. Pat, I thought he was funny as fuck.
And there are a lot of members. Hilarious. We're a gang.
Rob is. I've known Ugly New York for a long time.
You're the one who actually put him. You put him in our chat. Actually, you put Rob in there. That's the one. That's the one guy you put in there. Yeah.
I put him in LJ. But Rob, I've known for a long time. Just very New York.
With LJ, I was like, if you like him, then fine. Like I didn't know him at all. I didn't know Jamal at all.
Robbie, I always liked Robbie. I just always did. I felt like he just. And then when I met him in person, I liked him even more because he laughs so much all the time between the stuff that he says, and I thought the laugh it's infectious, and
he's always laughing.
I like everyone. Good question.
I think that's it. I put everyone in there. I have no opinion on any of it because I'm the one who put them all there.
Listen, fair. Pick a number. Yeah, pick a number.
3.
Who's the first heel you absolutely hated?
Goldust. I think I've said this before. Goldust. It was the Razor Ramon thing. I was like, yo, he keeps hitting him in his nuts. He tattooed his name on his titty. I was like, what's going on here? What are we watching? Beat his ass.
I probably hated was Triple H. He took up a lot of television time. Nah, I hated him when I was like, fuck, man, him again?
Love Triple H. Coolest fucking finisher, swag, the Kango hats, everything. He was the coolest motherfucker to me. I'm such a Triple H mark. I'm telling you, when I saw him at the PC, I froze. I was like, nah, man. this is the GOAT right here. I shook my hand. I was like, I'm never washing his hand again. Huge fan of the H-Man.
Pick another number.
7.
What's your favorite thing about your podcast co-host?
You go first.
My favorite thing is
You're trying to be funny. You're trying to be funny right now, and you can't be funny.
No. I have to find it, man. I want to find something meaningful to say. My favorite thing is literally how much you enjoy doing this. God damn the police. Should I just wait for them to? All right, they're going away. No, my favorite thing is like how much you enjoy this, because there's no way in absolute hell I could do 266 podcasts with anyone else. Like, you legitimately enjoy. You make it easy to come here and talk about this for 200 plus weeks, because you generally do enjoy this, and you at sometimes your enthusiasm about the stuff that we talk about brings me to be able to talk about it, because there have been some weeks where I'm just like, I don't really give a fuck about any of this stuff. But I think genuinely your genuine enthusiasm and excitement and like interest in all this other stuff, and kind of how you talking and how you talk about this makes gives me energy and gives me life
Yes.
when we do these episodes. So yes, that's what I would say my favorite thing is. You give me life.
Aw. I think my favorite thing about Meelz is that he never lets an idea die. You know what I mean? There have been so many times where we've just been like, we keep running into walls, and I'm like, okay, let's just think of something else. And you're just like, no, we're gonna go forward and do this. We're gonna have this idea. I think it's very easy for me, just mentally, like I'll move on to the next thing. And I'll be like, okay, we can do this separate thing. But like, you stick to the plan the whole time, and more often than not, it does work out the way that you wanted it to. And that's from me saying, let's do a Patreon right now. And you'd be like, no. Or let's do merch right now. You're like, no, let's wait. Let's do this. Let's get this. Let's get this. And it always worked out, and it always looked amazing. It's like, you are the strategy behind this whole thing, where if I'm the energy and like the enthusiasm and kind of like that spark, you're like the strategy behind it. And you kind of take even like how strategic you are, and like even putting me in spots where it's like, okay, Justin, we're gonna do this. I need you to show up here. Like, it's like you're like, that I'm gonna be able to bring it, but you're just like, you know what, the strategy part, like Justin's not so good at that. It's just like, I could do that part, but like we're really good at kind of making up for each other's kind of not weaknesses, but things that aren't our strengths. You know what I mean? Like the things that we might not be the best at, or things that we might falter or fall to the wayside on. We always got each other's back, and that's what I appreciate the most.
That's beautiful. Shout out to that brotherhood.
Number 2.
You said 2?
Yeah.
Ironically, this is what I've learned from this little exercise of having you pick random numbers. You picked damn near all odd numbers.
Really?
We have literally most even numbers left to go. And then also you have picked nothing between 19 and 29. So
Okay.
that's interesting. Number 2, as a fellow podcaster, what do you guys feel has been the key to success to the RNC and the HO brand?
You guys, the community. I don't think we would still be doing this if we hadn't built at least a little bit of a community. We're able to see it every single day in our Discord, and the way people respond to Meelz on Twitter, or me on Twitter, or even if you're not subscribed, you always kind of show us love. And I think that has been the key to success, is because even as much as excited as I am doing it, I'm only excited because I know you guys are listening. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys weren't listening and we didn't see the proof that you guys were, then I wouldn't be as excited. But I know that every single week people are waiting to see what you're going to say, Meelz, or what I'm going to say, or what Sasha Banks' watch is going to be now, or how we feel about just the state of race really in the wrestling community right now. They love hearing that stuff, and I love talking about it because you guys are there with us. And that makes us want to do this more. That gives Meelz the strategy to bring you guys the best content and the coolest things, and really outside the box activations like fundraisers and stuff, and it gives us the energy to kind of be funny and be the characters that we are.
So initially, I would have said, and for a long time, I always did say consistency. But I believe that's probably like the bare minimum of something that you need to be successful. And for a long time, I was consistent with so many other things that I'm going on. But I really do think it's community, being able to establish, like you said, the people who listen to this, establish this Discord of this community of people that we love to talk to, and share with. And I think that's one of the reasons why the internet wrestling community and the Black wrestling community continues to thrive. It's because of the people who tune in and the community that you have. Community might be the most important because it's the incentive to keep going on. You can be consistent, and we've been consistent for so long, but I don't think we get this far without you guys listening and building a community of people. And I've tried that with so many different other things, and it's not as easy, but with the A show, it's come very, very naturally. So yeah, community. um Pick another number.
Fuck. 29.
No Cat Moss says,
Wow.
um how much do you factor the fact that majority of fans haven't been tired of Roman Reigns' reign into how long they want him to keep the title? With mid June making 1,000 days, do you feel like they? Hold on, he got cut off because the shit is long as fuck. With mid June making 1,000 days, do you feel like he could keep it going till SummerSlam? This thing could keep it
No.
going forever.
I think just for writing purposes, there just aren't enough wrestlers. Like, unless he's disappeared for months on end, it's just not feasible to do that. But I mean, if they could, they could if they wanted to. I don't think that's in the plans. I think they're waiting for kind of like that right moment to do it. It just hadn't been the previous 2 years. I mean, it just wasn't the plan. You know what I'm saying? Even when Vince there, obviously H is there now, so he's got a plan. He knows when it's going to end. He even said it. He's got the plan for Roman's title run. So trust the process there. But um, I think people are not tired because they have had to, and I think with Roman, with him being such a big star, they can't fuck up because they can't make him unhappy, right? And I think that has led them to say, okay, we actually have to make stories where he's interesting and he continues being interesting, and that's what you see here. I would imagine they probably have every single writer that they have on deck working on Roman stuff all the time just to make sure that it keeps going.
I think in general, and I don't know what the hell is going on behind me, but I think he's a. I think by virtue now of him not being seen every week, it's sort of line the load and make it a little bit more interesting. I also think they have not. They could do one thing to probably prolong this, and that would probably be turning him face.
Yep. It's time. But the thing is like you got to
And
make
that
it
could
happen.
literally extend it to 1,000. That could literally extend it to 1,000.
And the thing also is that like if the Sami Zayn thing happens and he turns heel on Sami, that's another like couple months of him being heel. But the people are absolutely ready for him to turn face, and that's the interesting part to me. But the Mania thing is that like, do you have Rock return healing it up, or how deep of a what I'm saying? What are the characters at play here for that match? And because I said it the other week on when he came on Raw, I was like, this guy's not a heel. And he doesn't even honestly do a lot of heelish shit no more. He just does a bunch of tweener shit. So
That's cool shit, man. He's just
yeah,
cool.
he's just cool. Like he's the coolest motherfucker on the show constantly. Like if I had to rate it, if Randy was still there, like if he was still active right now, Randy would probably be a close number 2 of the coolest person on the shows.
Yeah, this nigga threw Sami Zayn a shirt and got cheered loudly.
Yeah.
And that's just some cool shit.
Right.
Because it's cool now to be with him. So it's a gang shit. Pick another
It's
number.
big NWO vibes with that. So 23, Michael Jordan.
By the end of 2024, where do you see WWE and AEW? When are their TV rights deals up?
that year. I see WWE doing something very outside the box with their TV deal. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of afraid of it because it's gonna be something like definitely that we've never seen before in the space. Looking at the way they're trying to launch into the metaverse early, by the way, and launch into all these other emerging markets, I definitely see more integration with their talent on TV shows and on their own TV shows as well. I mean, Bianca's getting her own streaming show on Hulu. Shout out to her. Um, I see a huge TV deal in the making for them. I don't think the Peacock thing will ever go away. I just think that the terms of some of these deals are going to change. I honestly don't see Raw leaving USA right now, to be honest with you. But I definitely see them being a bigger fixture on Fox programming. Even if they make another show on Fox, even if main event goes to Fox from now on.
So even with like NFL and MLB moving to streaming services, you don't ever see WWE on a weekly basis, whether it be Friday Night SmackDown, maybe.
Well, that was what I
Moving.
was saying. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, that's what I was saying was the terms that were going to scare me was that we could potentially be seeing day and date Raw or live Raws on a Peacock or a Hulu, because as you look at the numbers and the ratings, you got to think now, how much does that matter more than the fact that we have something that's weekly that can go on this failing platform as Peacock? They lost what, $3 billion or something like that. Like they lost some crazy amount of money on Peacock. Third quarter was terrible for them on Peacock. The only thing that really saved it, the only thing that is saving it is that $1 billion deal they cut with WWE. And maybe if you take that million of people who watch Raw every week, you give them an introductory price of $2.99, $3.99, and they can watch Raw on there the same time they don't gotta have cable anymore. Let's see what the turnover is going to be, and that's what's going to be the scary part about it, is putting something like Raw on such a uncharted thing, like because football does it now with Amazon. You know what I mean? And MLB is going to be doing it with Apple. Like that's the part to me that's going to be the unprecedented part. And as far as Fox, like I still think Fox's biggest strength is linear television, but I definitely see them adding another show to Fox, even if they bring Backstage back. In terms of AEW, much of the same, honestly. Like I think TNT is happy with what they're doing. I think at worst, Rampage will probably be restructured into either another hour for Dynamite or something completely different, because the way that show's going, it cannot go, it can't do that on that channel much longer.
Yeah, I think we'll more to see the expansion of Rampage into a viable second show. And then with their deal, their television deals kind of renewing, they'll have an opportunity to make that second show in the essentially they're borrowing whatever WCW did. Like literally the steps that WCW took with Thunder, that's exactly what's going to happen with Rampage. And it's going to be Dynamite and Rampage. It's going to be 2 times a week, 2 times the eyes. Not really 2 times, but but maybe like 1.3 times the eyes. But that's where I kind of see it, but that's kind of where it kind of ends. I don't see them at this point, unless the tides change. I don't see them nabbing any major free agent star. I think they kind of have to be able to do the best with what they got. I think they actually lose stars. If you had to ask me, I think there's a big tide of the tide has turned significantly with the new regime in WWE, and I think AEW actually begins to lose stars.
And that'll hurt. And I think they'll probably get some of the, because I can see, if you think releases aren't going to happen in Triple H's WWE, they are for sure going to happen. And I think that some of these people that don't work out in NXT or in main roster, I think you'll see them on AEW. And I mean, good luck with Dana Brooke over there, but good luck with
Hey
Lacey
man,
Evans.
playtime is over. Playtime is over. Pick another number.
22.
This one comes from, says, the A fan from South Africa.
Oh, shout out to South Africa. Yeah.
If AEW had to split their talent across 2 shows like WWE did with Raw and SmackDown, wow, great choice, by the way, would their shows suffer? In relation to that question, pick 5 wrestlers that you would center around each show. So AEW has a brand split. We got to pick 5 wrestlers to center around. But first, would Dynamite suffer from the shows being split? I would say relatively no, because
It'd be
it
better.
seems that way anyway.
Yeah, it would be probably better. It would probably be a better show. You're probably getting long ass matches on it though.
Yeah. 5 wrestlers to center around each show on AEW. So Dynamite, Rampage. I would say Dynamite. I mean, if it's gonna be Raw and SmackDown, you could literally pick any 5, to be honest with you, and put them
Yeah.
on both shows. They're all roughly the same. I would have Kenny and the Bucks on one show, so that's 3. I would put that. Maybe I'll put that on Rampage, and
Okay.
I would also have Daniel Bryan on that show, and I would have. Good lord. I would have. What's the 5th guy? It's another popping guy in this damn thing. Popping. Claudio, go, sure. And then on Dynamite, I would have MJF, Chris Jericho, John Moxley, and I don't know what, FTR, I guess, whatever. This point doesn't fucking matter. If you had to do a brand split with this show, what would you be?
Okay, I'd split up all the factions. I would split up the Elite. I'd put the Bucks on Rampage for their tag division. Keep Kenny on Dynamite with Mox. I'd move MJF to Dynamite because they need to have a star, like a single star there every single week showing up. So that's what 3 and 2. Also for Rampage, I would make that the Jade show and have her be like the top champion on that show. And I would I put Sarai on that show too.
Women. Damn, I forgot about women.
I put Sarai on that show too. I keep Britt on Dynamite. I would also keep Adam Page on Dynamite as well, and also just to kind of you got to kind of have a worker on that, like on that show too. I would put Christian on Dynamite too.
Look at you. All right. That would seem like a better show.
You cut out a lot of the bullshit, right? You would cut out a lot of the Elite bullshit that people don't like to see anyway. Kenny have to sink or swim on his own. You still have Mox there running the show because he's like the marquee guy. You split him away from MJF, who they've all faced each other before. MJF will be able to create and create around some of the new guys. And then Jay will still be able to do her thing. And Britt is Britt. She's still going to have the top show. So, it's all about functioning and making sure that the optics of these things matter. It's about making it matter.
Pick another number.
20.
Wow, I had it on. Literally, I'm like on 20 right now. Looking forward to Mania season. What big matches do the women have left to headline the show? Is Becca versus Ronda still a big time match? And who does Bianca face now? Also, who takes the title off the Usos? They've legit beat everyone 3 times over. So, my good Dr. Curtis, and since you're a good doctor, I would say for the women conversation, slide on over to the Patreon from last week.
Yes.
Because we have a lengthy discussion on that. It's only $5, my good doctor. So I would say I don't want to not answer it, but we have if you're looking for a long discussion on that, last week's episode, Patreon version, we talk about it for maybe like 25 minutes. But Becky versus Becca, Becky versus Ronda, and Charlotte versus Bianca are our big kind of matches that we have. Who takes the title off the Usos? Sammy and KO.
Yeah, I mean, even though KO is injured, it's a 6-week layoff. He'll be back, and I think that you can start that. I think it's a way better look if you started at the Rumble. If you do it now, and they have a bunch of meaningless singles matches until then.
Yeah, no, you're right.
As terrible as it sounds, it might actually like be serendipitous that KO missed this because his return will be around the same time as Cody, around the same time as a lot of people coming back. Becky is supposed to be coming back soon. I think it'll hit harder when he comes back if he does it at the top of the year.
I agree. Pick another number.
I'm lost. 17. I don't know what I've said.
That's okay. 17 was available, so you're right.
Okay.
I know folks compare LA Knight to The Rock, but do any of
I
you
don't.
see him more?
I am not one of those folks.
LA Knight, is this you? I know folks compare LA Knight to The Rock, but do any of you see him more as similar to DDP?
That's interesting. He is old as fuck. So yeah, that's fair.
I think so.
Yeah.
He wants to be a DDP. He could be a DDP. I feel like
Two old
DDP
niggas.
was. Well, listen.
If he starts showing up to SmackDown with rib tape and jeans with boots on, then yeah, I'll give it to you.
I feel like he could. I feel like he absolutely would. He's very much so a sports entertainer in that aspect. I think the DDP comparison is spot on. You have a lot of even numbers to choose from.
Oh, shit. 12.
12. Least favorite WrestleMania main event ever.
Fuck.
High key on the highest keys. Can I say high? Like literally the
Women's main
highest
event.
keys possible.
Women's main event.
No.
The three-way.
Actually,
I thought three-way wasn't a good match.
which one?
The three-way with Ronda, Charlotte, and
Oh.
what's her name? Becky.
I think the 20s, WrestleMania of the 20s, have terrible, non-memorable main events. And I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I have never gone back to watch The Rock versus Cena 1.
Don't.
Never, ever, ever. It is, to me, so underwhelming in how kind of like plotting it is. And I feel like John Cena would have a better match now with The Rock than he had then, which is weird to say.
Yeah, because he wasn't watching his PWG tapes then.
Easily. So I'm going to say that is my least favorite WrestleMania main event ever because it meant a lot to me and I truly don't care about it. I love The Rock and I'll never watch that match back again. Pick another number.
Understandable. 11?
Pick that one.
Oh, I knew it was going to happen. 13? Oh, I picked the 13 already. 14?
Let's go 15. So do you think Cody Rhodes could come a John Cena level main event star for the company?
We'll see. I think we'll see. That's definitely like a we'll see. He was hot as ever when he came back, but who knows what, you know what I mean? What Vince would have done. You know what I mean? When if he was still there, I think with Triple H, he's again the most interesting things about Triple H to me is number one, ending the Roman Reigns run, and number two, who's gonna beat him for it, and how they're gonna position those people. And since I think it's gonna be Cody, that's who I think is the second most interesting part of what Triple H has to do on that roster right now. And I mean, it's possible.
I think John Cena was number one, and as long as Roman exists, I don't think Cody could be number one.
He could be number
Like
one on a
Roman
show,
is,
and
yeah,
I
he could be
think that
number one on
that's
a
all that
show that doesn't feature
matters.
Roman.
Yeah. I think that's all that really matters. He was never number one on anything. You know, if he could just get that moment, he'll be good. And I mean, let's just be honest, Meelz. Like Roman has said it himself, that he's not long for this. Like he's not going to be doing it that much longer. And all Cody has to do is outlast him. He's a young guy.
Yeah, no, you're right. 4, 6, 8, 10. Pick one.
10.
Donnie Lucci, who does not follow the rules, has 2 questions.
Do one.
Where do you ultimately want to be at the end of this decade?
I want to have a net worth of $10 million, and I don't want to work in an office anymore. I want to work for myself.
What he said, literally.
I think I'd be good. I think $5 million and all I had to do was podcast the rest of my life, I'd be straight. I'd be good.
We can get there, hopefully. I agree. 4, 6, 8. Pick one.
6.
Also, Jalen does not follow the rules with 2 questions.
I told him on Discord, I said, it doesn't matter what type of question you ask, but it has to be one question.
If you could be one character from your favorite movie, TV show, video game. Wait, what? All right, I'm not doing that one. If you had the book, if you had the book, which stars would you build your wrestling company around, male or female? Hold on, let me read this first one again. You could be one character from your favorite
I
movie.
like the character one. We just did a booking one.
I know, but it says if you could be one character from your favorite movie, TV show, video game, etc., into wrestling, who would it be and why?
Kratos from God of War. He'd be a great fucking wrestler. He'd be
All
like
Might.
Brock. He'd have like Brock. Oh, All Might's a good one too. He'd be like the biggest babyface.
All
Oh
Might's
God.
amazing.
Yeah. All Might versus Kratos would be crazy. That would snap. I think Kratos, biggest heel in the game, would have the best babyface turn. All Might would kind of just be the forever kind of Hulk Hogan role where he's just like the best babyface.
Easily. 4 and 8. Pick one.
8.
Conrad Thompson Jr. calls in. Chat me up
Jesus.
about Starcade 97. Chat me up about Starcade 97. Do you really think the reason we got a fuck finish is because Stang didn't show up jacked with a spray tan?
Yes. Look at him. Look at him. I don't blame Hogan for wanting to kind of rib his ass and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kick out of the fucking finish, or I'm or fast count him so he doesn't kick out of the finish." Hell yeah, he looked sloppy. Go watch Starcade. I wish that's my Christmas wish, Meelz, is that we watch that show.
Didn't we did a live thing about it?
Did we?
I think so.
I think me and Cyrus did spot callers on it, but you never watched it.
No. I remember watching it because I remember you laughing the entire time. I'm not sure if we probably did put it out, but I remember I watched it because I remember you told me to watch it, and we watched it together for the live thing. And then the shit started acting up, and that's why we don't do live watches anymore.
Okay,
and essentially,
okay.
It's also hard to upload to various platforms because they don't want us watching stuff. And then also, there's just mad other shit. Number 4 says, where do you guys see yourself in 5 years?
I probably have kids. Not gonna lie to you, but I'm definitely still gonna be doing this. In some capacity, I think we are literally at the edge, like the cusp of like breaking through this whole kind of like media spectrum, and I'm excited to see where we end up from there. But like, I definitely like professionally see myself again working for myself in 5 years. I see it. I think I got one more bag to get professionally, and then I'm working for myself.
5 years. Making a lot of money doing this. That's what I would hope. Making more money than we do now, for sure.
That's what happens. Speaking to existence, my brother.
I'm just gonna go through these questions. The next one, I'm not even gonna tell you to count. Given all the changes they've had in WWE this year, where do you see it in the next 5 to 10 years? I feel like we did cover that.
So we did answer. We answered that.
Yeah.
We talked about TV
It's a
deal.
different question. Yeah. It's a different question, but still.
I think in terms of talent, I think they are extremely going to tap into that market of talent that they build, and in 5 years we will be seeing more kind of I'm not saying Lash Legend to be like, okay, quality wise, but people that have come through the system like her. You know what I mean? I know she's a lightning rod of
hey man,
opinion.
let's fuck them. I like Lash Legend. More Lash Legends in the world. Less all you other broads that can't wrestle and have no excuse.
They're gonna double down on the athletes. Y'all get ready. Don't get mad.
Next one comes from Kenny. What loss in WWE and or the challenge history has had you the most bummed out? The
Um,
loss in the challenge that had me the most bummed out. Leroy not winning his last one.
yeah, and he's done now, huh?
Yeah, he's done. So
Yeah.
Leroy not winning ever, especially on that last one where in Double Agents he played such a flawless game, got there with his girl, but they did the cardinal sin and brought CT to the final, and he smoked the shit out of everybody.
Yep.
So, um, a loss in WWE that had me the most bummed out.
How
Uh
about you do challenge? I'll do WWE. You do challenge. I'll do WWE.
okay, sure, yeah. You do
Um, one
WWE
that
then, yeah.
one that bummed me out was I think the loss that bummed me out the most was Seth losing to the Fiend, man. That really sucked. I felt like he had a lot of really good momentum, and he had just such a like what was the beginning of like a generational babyface run, and they just kind of cut it because Vince was he saw somebody selling some merch. You know what I mean? And I thought it was really it sucked to kind of cut his legs off. I mean, honestly, it ended up right for him because of his heel turn after that, but it just sucked. And then it led to the pandemic. You know what I mean? And it was just it was rough for him.
Next question. We only got a couple more. I'm gonna get to everyone's question, so be glad, everybody. Um, as someone who works in the video game industry, what stands out in the Arkham,
Arcane,
Arkham series for you, Justin? I recently played Gotham Knights, and theirs obviously has a major
Arkham.
difference.
Oh, Arkham, not like the video game. I thought you were talking about Arcane, like the League of Legends thing. I'm sorry. That I corrected you.
Sure, no problem. I recently played Gotham Knights, and there's obviously major difference in the passion put forth to make incredible games. He says love to Meelz too. Was just wondering. No worries. I don't give a damn. As someone who works in the video game industry, what stands out in the Arkham series to you, Justin?
Their dedication to fan service and making sure that the fans are hyper served. I think when you make video games, and when I talk to a bunch of the devs that work where I work at, it's that they want to make sure that the fans feel heard and that the fans have something that they can kind of they can chew on. You know, like they want to make sure that all of the kind of passion points are hit. Where you see a character on Arkham, you see like there's little detective clues and there's little files you can pick up. You know, the Riddler has clues and there's a lot of things that you can see from characters that aren't in the game but they're referenced. You know what I mean? And I think people love that type of stuff. And what made Arkham so great was that you still got those moments. And from what I hear, you still get a couple of those moments in Gotham Knights, but you don't have the level of fidelity and gameplay that you had in the Arkham series that you had there. And that's what I think turned a lot of people off to those games. So yeah, you hyper serve your audience, and they will always support you.
Next one says, if you had to predict the Mania main event 3 years from now, what would they be? Mania main
Uh,
event. What's this year?
Braun Breaker,
2025.
Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns.
Somebody versus Roman Reigns. It's the
Yeah.
party's not stopping.
I think
Um,
when it's said and done, Roman's going to have the most WrestleMania main events of everybody ever.
I agree. It also, where will they be in 3 years for WrestleMania? That's a big question.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Will we see another big name exit from AEW a la Punk and Cody? If so, who? Hmm. Wouldn't you like to know? I don't know.
I mean, Daniel Bryan, because we already know he only has a 3-year deal. I think he could leave. Um, Jericho's not going anywhere. He'll get Hall of Fame, but he's not going. He's not going back to WWE. He
Someone
does
just
good.
had a thing. Sorry, no, someone had a thing where their deal is almost up in AEW. That was reported. I forget.
Well, a lot of them. I mean, I guess the Bucks or Kenny.
Let's see. I'm gonna say Brian Danielson for now, but we've heard a lot of people want to get out of AEW. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
so that's just what we've heard. And that's all we'll say on that. Join the Discord. It's only $10. Or is it $20? I forget at this point.
20.
It's
It's
worth
20.
it's whatever money. It's 20, but it's worth whatever the price. Listen, it's worth the price of admission. Um, does CM Punk wrestle for WWE next year? And if so, what do you see him doing?
Kind of answered this too. I definitely see him, if possible, if he does get out of the non-compete. I do see him coming back. I really do. I think that again, he is at his lowest in terms of just the quality of what people think about him. And I think this is the second time in his career that he did not get to go out the way that he wanted to go out. And I think the best way to do that is to kind of not right wrongs or amend anything, but really do it on a bigger stage than he'd have ever done it, and get the backing that I know that they can do to give that to him.
I think he does wrestle for WWE next year when he heals up. Probably around the latter half of the year though. I wouldn't say Mania time. He might not make it to Mania.
Yeah, no.
Um,
That's a lot of healing that's got to happen before he comes back, though. There's a lot of
yeah,
conversations that got to
yeah,
happen.
absolutely. Last question we have. It's a wrestling question and a non-wrestling question, so I'm gonna give this a pass. Um, Wrestling question: who do you see realistically defeating Roman Reigns if they leave the titles unified versus separating them? And where does Roman go post-title? So who do we feel is going to beat him for the title? Cody. Thank you, baby. Cody.
If they're keeping it unified, that nigga too small to be holding up two belts like that, man. You
Somebody's
don't look
gonna hold it.
imposing.
I feel like he'd
Yeah,
give it away. I feel like in his character, he's like, listen, I was only a son of a plumber. I don't need more than I've, need
yeah,
and stuff. And he gives one title away, some good fucking nice shit. I don't know.
sissy shit. Nah, I if not Drew, then Cody for sure. Yeah, if not Drew, then Cody. I can see that.
Well, it hasn't been. It definitely isn't Drew.
Relax.
After that nigga took that L.
Relax.
Where does Roman go post title reign? He disappears until it's time to come back and take the title again.
Vacation. I think you set him up with some exhibition matches. I think you do some one shots with him. Get some guys
Yeah.
over. As a baby face, he could. I mean, realistically, he could lose a little bit more than he was when he was a heel. But you use him to get guys over. I think if he comes back, he's going to try and do the second match with Cody there and get the title back, and you have a rubber match that they could do at any time on any big show between him and Cody.
Non-wrestling question and our last question. How you feeling about her loss? The
I like
albums.
it. I like it. I think I've listened to it. Well, here's my thing. Like, I never really stopped listening to CLB. I think CLB to me was like Drake's best project. I wasn't really feeling too much of his stuff um before that, but I like it a lot. I mean, it's clearly just a Drake album where he has an excuse to say really like off the wall petty shit. It's fun. I mean, what more can I say? It's really fun.
I like it, but I don't know. I think it's one of those albums I'm just going to take what I like and listen to that. And some of the other stuff that's not very spectacular or warming to me, I'll just leave it. But I do overall, I like the effort. I'm a big fan of rapping Drake. Um, so I do like it more than anything. I think how do I feel about 21? It's part of it.
He is not
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
He is not better than usual. I saw someone say he's better than usual. I'm like, well, he had to get up to Drake's level. Like, that's him up at Drake's level right there, and he's still
It
like
is.
several weeks below.
And it is what it is. All right. That was our Ask Anything Spectacular for the A show. Thank you guys for submitting questions. As you know, we weren't able to do the regular show this week, but this was still very much fun exercise. And we got the A show out of the week really, really early. Got it out of the way really, really early. So we were able to enjoy our week as you go fly wherever the hell you're flying at this point. Um
Damn, don't be too mad.
Well, listen. But thank you guys, obviously, for tuning in. I would say we put up the draft diaries on our regular feed, and from week to week now, the draft diaries will be going up on the regular feed. So those of you who have not indulged in the draft diaries yet will be able to listen to this for free.
Until
If you want to listen
until season 2.
You're all right until the second half of this damn season. But if you want to listen to all the episodes all at once, it's available on the Patreon. But if you want to listen week by week, you can get it week by week. It's a fun discussion. We talk about everything on there. Again, no war. Well, actually, there might be a war report this week.
There will be a war report this week. I believe it will be Quan and a special guest. I'm not going to spoil it.
Yes. Yeah. So there will be a war report this week. I'm going to say get well soon to Cyrus if he's made it this far in the podcast. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Any final words, J5?
Nope. We're gonna be rolling into the holidays. That means year-end season is coming up, and we have a lot of really cool stuff to announce really soon about that. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. It's gonna be a prediction show, so hey, we have fun with that. We're gonna be talking war games next week, so yeah. So for Meelz, I'm Justin. Thank you guys for listening to the A Show. Till next week. See you guys later. Peace.